So thank you so much, all of you who've returned our post-lockdown questionnaires. Don't worry if you haven't, there's still plenty of time because we're going to be keeping our worship arrangements under constant review for the next few months. As you would expect, the initial responses to those questionnaires reflect the broad spectrum of our society. So many of you seem to be quite relaxed about coming to services here in church, but a significant minority are very understandably still wary. So we want to make sure that we keep everybody as comfortable as possible coming to the church. Well, from this Sunday, the 5th of September, things are going to be a little bit different. So here I am in church to show you what it's going to be like. First thing is that you won't need to book any longer. That's going to be a huge relief, I'm sure. But because we anticipate more people will be coming, we're going to try out a 2 zones seating system here in the building. So as you can see, in this front section of the church and in the 2 side aisles, the chairs are now arranged in rows, though there is a generous amount of room in front and behind each row. It may be that you want to get together with your household or friends to bag a complete row, or as you see in the centre here, there are just rows of 4, so maybe 2 couples or a complete family can sit in one of those. In this section at the front of the church, face coverings are now optional, although still recommended, and if you don't want to have somebody sitting right next to you, there will be cards that you can pick up at the door as you come in and then simply place on the seat beside you to indicate that you'd rather nobody sat in that seat. Now, if we move back to the rear section of the church, you can see that the chairs are still spaced as they have been over the last few months, so well set apart. And in this section, we would ask that only those who wish to remain socially distanced and to continue to wear a face covering would sit in these seats. We will also keep the doors open so there'll be good ventilation, particularly at the rear of the church. Now, this system obviously will only work if we show great consideration for one another and only sit in these back seats if we really do want to remain socially distanced and wear a mask. Please don't just sit there because you like to sit at the back of the church. Rather, please, could you, if you're not particularly wanting to sit at the back, please sit as near the front as you can, which will make it easier for latecomers to find a seat when they come in. For communion services on the first Sunday of the month, there will be a single central station here at the front of the church where you'll be invited to come up to receive communion. We'll do that in a clockwise circular flow, so wherever you're sitting in the church, simply come onto these tiled walkways around the central block of seating and walk in a clockwise direction until you reach the front, as I'm now demonstrating. I know that will mean for some people you have quite a long walk from your seat, but it will then only be a short walk back to your seat after you've received communion. So you come to the front here and first of all receive the bread, and then we will offer you the wine in an individual communion cup. So you simply take a cup, you drink the wine, and then there will be a table for you to deposit your cup on your way back to your seat. I'll just put that there for now, but there will be a proper table. And then you return, obviously, to wherever you began from. If, however, you'd prefer to receive communion in your seat, then simply indicate to the stewards and they'll let me know to bring communion down to you where you're sitting. Just a couple of other differences from this Sunday. Our junior church groups will be back to normal, meeting in the church hall and rooms, but for the time being they won't be joining us, the children and young people, here in church except on all age services. That may just reassure one or two of you who were concerned about that. The other thing is that we're going to be serving tea and coffee again after the service, probably from tables in this north transept area, somewhere around here in the church. But would really ask you to be extremely careful to try not to spill any drinks at all, particularly on our beautiful new upholstered chairs. And while the weather's reasonably warm, then why not take your drink outside and have fellowship on the grass outside with other people. Hopefully, these arrangements will enable most of our church family to feel comfortable about coming together for worship and fellowship back here in the church building. But if for any reason you're not yet ready to come back, then we are going to continue the online services, a combination of pre-recorded YouTube services and from time to time live streams such as the ones we've done over the last week or so. So whichever way, online or back here in the building, see you soon.